Okay, officially, welcome to the third Realms Council call. Nice to have you all here. Let's start with our famous icebreaker once more. So, Lauren, your happy event of the week, please.
My happy event. Ooh, if anyone wants to do Fidgetal, oh, here it is. I was talking with the IYK guys who we met before, and they sent me these little things to test. So if anyone wants to put some little chips in your physical things, they can send you to test them and then connect them to NFTs. I was excited. It works, you just tap it.
Oh, that's cool. Is it like RFID chips?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
That's
if anybody
nice.
needs, they'll hook you up.
No, it's NFC. It's not RFID. Or?
NFC. NFT? NFC for NFT?
No, I mean the chip itself. Is this an RFID or is it like what kind
Still,
of chip?
I think you're muted.
Oh,
If
sorry.
you're talking.
Yeah, I was just wondering about the chip format. You think Gabriel it's a different chip format, not RFID? I think it's called RFID, no?
They told me, but
Well, I cannot tell. I mean, I don't know exactly, actually. I mean, I should know. Shit, why don't I know? I should know stuff like this.
Why don't you, man? I don't know. That's just messing. Okay. So this was.
I mean, I did the whole fucking strategy for Telefonica. I should really know. Hey,
Yeah,
back in the day.
you probably should. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. You don't know.
oh, I know.
Okay, so
It's
this
all about
was
this technology.
what, Adam? What?
I know a little about this technology because I want to use it for NFTs for tickets at the event I'm doing, and I think it might be. It's probably RFIDs, but it's much better just to use your phone and have laser etched on acrylic, just 3D laser etched QR code. So then you can just do it really, really cheaply. Like that costs about £1 to make. So you have like a small little credit card, and you don't have to have a battery, and it can be transparent. You can put it on something, and that's your target for your NFT. And can be completely unique to you. So it's a bit like having cash and a ticket that you can then build an NFT on. But
Okay, I just read up on it. So the difference between NFC and RFID is that the NFC tag, which you have in your hand, is a passive tag, and it's based on RFID technology. But you can have active RFID, which means you have like a sender as well, and which is powered by electronics, while the NFC is in fact doesn't have like a energy source, and it's not a QR code. But if you look at it closely, maybe you can put it to the camera, Kalal. That I still know is that you see there's these little antennas, these round things. You see that? And you have inductive electronic radiation coming from your phone, and that goes into these wires and therefore induces electronics, like electronic current, and that powers the whole chip. And what this transmits is some form of numbers that can be a URL, but also other stuff. Could be like, I don't know, your string of your wallet as well. So many different things, but what Kalal has in her hand is something special.
they're good, but they're only short range. They only work for things like
tag, because I've had that as a thing in the middle. There's a microcontroller inside, and this microcontroller makes it more intelligent than a normal NFC tag, because that can do additional stuff, and only with that microcontroller it is possible to have that NFT functionality that IYK is offering.
Yeah, and that was
Okay.
cool, I thought, for me, because I also like the idea of QR codes. Where is the data? It was you who said that, right? But yeah, I don't know if you can do that with the QR code of like you can scan it and then you claim it directly into your wallet, the NFT. And I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a QR code. It's just a
No,
three-dimensional.
both is important. Wait.
Yeah.
Mm.
Gabriel, can you hear
So it's-
Adam
you-
talking? I'm not sure if you guys can hear each other because you're always trying to talk at the same time.
Sorry about that.
Okay, cool. Adam, can you repeat, please?
I was just going to say the best IoT wireless technology is helium.com, and it's low frequency, long wave radio. Those items you're looking at there, it's too expensive and they are too low short range. And if I was doing a very low cost ticketing system, I would just do it with a 3D scanned object that's a solid object with no wires whatsoever. And you just scan that. And that scanning can be like a QR code, but it can be a physical object in 3 dimensions that is completely unique to you, just like a serial number. So you make up the code, you make up the identification yourself, which can be anonymous, it can be on a blockchain, it can be wherever. So that for me is cheaper than for ticketing an event, which is what I'm thinking of doing at the event.
Would you put the link in the chat?
Helium.com.
I think I found it actually. Let me put this in.
Is it
this?
helium? I found
It's a very good investment, and it's the biggest wireless network in the world already.
Is that
hotspots.
Is that the one that does 5G integration?
Yes.
It looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've got hotspots if you want to host some. It makes money, but it's smashing the competition in terms of the wireless networks because it's so much faster, cheaper, long range. You can go 200-mile radius. It's low power. So it's easy to develop on, and that's why in terms of IoT, it's beating all the markets. But it's using long wave radio.
So it must be within the allowable spectrum in the UK. It's not like a LoRaWAN type of protocol. It's, I guess, slightly different, is it?
No, it's LoRaWAN. It's got an agreed certification, but not for 5G yet. I think that the mobile networks might be quite pissed off if they do 5G.
Yeah.
But they've released 5G in the United States, and it will be coming here. It's just a question of, how they manage that with the competition they'll get, because they're obviously a disruptor in the market.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
This was Lauren's happy moment of the week, and apparently it touched a few nerves. Actually, 3 in the group. That's great.
It's been transcended to new resources.
Yeah, this is actually great. Gabriel, did you want to add something?
I can add my happy moment.
Yeah. Yes, please go.
And my happy moment occurred just now because Phoebe just came into the door and told me that we have a second horse now.
Oh.
And that's gonna be my horse. And it's
You have such extreme moments.
Yeah, that's my
Cool. To having your first own horse, I guess, even though that sounds so weird.
Yeah.
You either have a really big place or it's a field, I'm assuming, the latter.
It's a field, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't. The horse is not living in our apartment yet.
I'm kidding. British humour. Ignore me.
Yeah, that's a nice happy moment. Catherine, you want to move in with your happy moment of the week? Was there anything?
No happy moment. But the only cool thing I guess that happened this week is so I am gonna release my first Mint Unknown Origin this Friday, so that's exciting. And we've been writing our description for it, and very like we just connected and it was kind of beautiful. So that's like the only good thing that happened this week. I mean, that's exciting, worthy to talk about. So can't wait for you guys to see it. But yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations. And also, that
Thank
is for
you.
sure a happy moment. So don't hold back.
Yeah. Can't wait
Um,
for you to get on Known Origin.
Yeah, step by step. First, like everything Elena, and then a little bit Stella, and then a little bit more Elena. I have to balance. Deep thought. You want to share your happy
Hey,
moment?
happy moment. Every day is a happy moment, but I I guess what was I doing this week? Apart from working, that was a happy moment. I've been looking at on-chain NFT technology stuff. In like if you guys look at Art Vase and other collections, you know a lot of NFTs are basically partially stored on the blockchain or not at all. And I was just trying to get my head around how to exploit, the multi-layered elements within blockchains having most of the info stored on chain. So I was looking at that and some more stuff around AI and ML because I think that those two things are going to be really, interesting moving into the future because it touches every area of our lives, but particularly around this space.
I think that is so cool. But really, do you want to share this part as your happy moment? Are you sure?
Happy moment. Um, yeah, no, happy moment. I've been to the gym this week early in the morning. That's my happy moment.
Okay, congratulations
Made it.
for doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that was really
Nice.
okay.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Why
May,
the
may I
NFT?
just may I just quickly jump in there when we're talking about this whole on-chain stuff and NFT utility? I talked to a very large whale, like NFT whale, and the sentiment in the space right now is that investors are going away from like these quick dump and pump PFP collection thingies more into functionality, utility, and
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much the stuff, what Puck does and so on in that direction. So being creative with the code.
And I was wondering why aren't they on chain? Is it because it's more expensive to mint it? If you mentioned something.
Yeah, I mean, some collections, when they came out, were just hosted on the project server. So if like the server went down, you sort of lost, half of your information, and then obviously you went into IPFS and Airweave and other technologies. But some collections are trying to put the data completely on the chain so it can be reconstructed, from the chain.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Mo, you want to share your happy moment of the week?
Hello, hello. I'm kind of like Deep Thought. Every day is a happy day. My
Yay.
son is turning 4 this month, so he's just like saying the darndest things, the cutest things every day. I'm just like, what the heck are you even talking about? So it's just really cute. And then I think the week before, my happy moment was getting the new puppy. So I have like puppy cuteness all day, every day because he's so little. And then my husband is just so like cute with a puppy and a little son. So I'm just like cuteness overload right now every day.
That's really cute.
Nice.
Adam, where is the data? You want to share your happy moment? Oh, I think. I don't know. Where do you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry about that. My happy moment was being in my house down in Dumfries and Galloway, where I'm from in Scotland, and just walking up the hill and seeing the view of the valley and the wind turbine going really, really well because it's windy and the bills are going up crazy, but we've got renewable electricity there. So that was my happy moment.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice is the word, yeah. Okay, that's cool. That rounds up the happy moment of the week. Now it is all about sharing. Who wants to go first? Like I can pull up the goals from last week if you guys want. But who feels confident about sharing if they completed their goals?
I can kick it off. I've semi-completed my goals, but I did have some interesting stuff happen that I wouldn't mind sharing. So,
okay.
One of the things that I've been trying to do with this workshop and like being the founder of a DAO is like trying to see how to like grow community, right? That's like one of the things we all kind of mentioned we're trying to do as well as doing all this other stuff. So one of the things that I've been trying to do is just be like more present on Twitter Spaces and like, building those kind of connections. So there was one that was happening like the other day from like the Fashion House DAO. I think we all were mentioning them before in the other chat. And I follow another girl. She was speaking, so I joined. I'm like, oh, Web3 fashion, cool. I like these kind of spaces. Let me just listen in. Steckle's talking, this other girl's talking, good stuff. But as soon as I joined, they kept talking, and then they called on me to talk. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're talking about DAOs and fashion. And Mo, we know you are a part of DigitalX. So can you come up here and talk about it? And I'm like, yeah, awesome. The Global Designer Network was an awesome DAO. I met really awesome people that are doing great things. I'm still building with, really cool. But now at this point, I've even started my own, and, we've got our own team and kind of doing our own thing now, going independent, to refocus more on like education and our own thing, and then kind of started shilling all about the raw DAO. So I thought that was interesting because that's something that we've always kind of talked about, like how to have these conversations in a responsible way without having to like drag anyone. And people are going to ask because most of our followers, well, at least for me, especially, like I didn't really have a big 3D design following before, I connected with them. So for me, it was just, a way to just, reassure people you will get those questions. But again, reminding people, if you are founding a brand, it is important how you carry those kind of conversations. You never know who's listening. And it's no need to, do any of the extra stuff that I think some of us were concerned about when it came to people having these spaces and trying to fish and, take things out of context and do whatever. So it's like, if, people do, that's just your opportunity to kind of, say your piece, because we all also stand for what we, stand for in our way, and that's why we went our own way, So I just kept talking like, no, our focus is really education, So it was cool. Along of my goals, I have not done a lot of research with smart contracts because now, after our community call, we've kind of focused more on like the structure when it comes to the DAO. And it's funny when you see these waves of like hot topics per se in the space. So it's like now CC0 is this whole hot topic, right? That people are like coming in a wave about. But also another one of those waves. Okay, go ahead. Go read your book. Okay, another one of those waves that you see is, oh, do you have lawyers? Are you doing this in the DAO? Like, how is your DAO infrastructure really set up? Like, now everybody's like, do you have a lawyer? Do you have a lawyer? And it's like, is that like the new cool question to like talk about now amongst DAOs? But I mean, it's important. And again, that's something that we always talk about, like understanding that regulatory side and making sure that we're doing this right. And they asked me about it in that conversation, and I mentioned how we had somebody that just joined this our group, and we're all just using the resources that we're getting to figure it out along the way. So we've kind of started digging into that more and how we want to set it up before we go diving into the smart contracts. Because I did pitch Coordinate. Everybody really likes the idea of just tracking, our work without actually having to get the airdrop. We're going to do something called like a rainy day. So everybody's basically going to be saving their rainy day fund and like accumulating their governance tokens and airdrops. And then once we do officially, relaunch our smart contract, then we'll have this whole like rainy day and do this big massive airdrop. So really cool being able to talk with the team and kind of decide that. But I am still having forking the smart contracts on the agenda because that is still the mission. Everybody agreed as well that they did like our smart contracts, did like we were doing. It makes sense for us to keep doing that. And we're also just kind of just focused more on like what are we doing now as a DAO, like as a Web3 DAO, what is our mission? And of course, again, we said we are this information about education. So we're building different assets. So it comes down to like, okay, so what are you building then, right? So we're building our resource website, which is going to be really cool. We've kind of revamped our whole mission where it's like, before when we had our thing, it was okay, everybody can set a theme, or we set a theme as a group and then everybody can make fashion from that. But now we've kind of done it where we'll set a theme, but anybody in the NFT community can use the theme on any platform that they're using in order to, again, create these different waves on different marketplaces, because that's cool. Everybody's creating anyway, so let's create themes that people can create too every season in order to help us grow our community naturally and keep doing what we thought, but in this bigger way. That's why we wanted to say, hey, everything doesn't have to be on this marketplace. Everything doesn't have to be like that. Instead, again, we're creating this hub for new people to come in this space, new NFT artists. If you've ever seen like progressive commercials, if you guys are familiar, it's kind of like that, where you can come in and say, hey, I want to mint this NFT, but I have no idea how to do it. And you can kind of like take a quiz, like, and say, hey, your NFT will have unlockables, or it'll be clothing, it'll be, it'll have this utility. And then you'll kind of get a few marketplaces to say, well, this marketplace comes with this marketplace comes with that, this marketplace comes with that. And it'll show you the pros and cons, the cost with it, and really outline, here's what your best options would be, go from there with what you want to do. And again, help create help create resources that people coming into the space are going to be able to use. So, kind of refocusing on that and building out that infrastructure. Again, we do even want a CC0 library because it would be cool to have actual stuff in there that people can even just come, you want to start an NFT, use these tools, kind of build your own type of thing. But that's like big picture. So now we're kind of like revamping that roadmap, thinking like, okay, what are the things that we're building? We have this vault of information that we call the brain, and we're building the website now to actually put these resources on the brain. So it's now open source and available to everybody. We're going to keep having these workshops. So how can we keep building out that and promotion? And the biggest other thing is our actual metaverses, when we want to have learning centers in different metaverses that we can then have, kind of, again, that same, you want to host a convention in the metaverse? Well, we have a convention center. We have moderators. We have all the tools that you need. We have 5 different categories: moderators, engineers, creatives, educators, and strategists. Anything you need to help with your NFT business. If you need an engineer, if you need a designer, we want to be that hub for people to come and connect and get these things created. So we got our Gitbook updated, so that's really exciting. We did get that done, and again, just like a clear vision. So next, we are trying to like make that roadmap actually. So we have another conversation this Friday to kind of talk more about the roadmap and like big steps that we're really shooting for, so that we can put out our new roadmap. So that's what I've gotten done.
Awesome. That's a lot. So
yeah.
Except for the smart contracts, I would say you fulfilled everything you promised.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't get the smart contracts, but I got a lot of other stuff done that at least kind of helped, get us re-grounded. I think everybody, they shared that they wanted to just build independently because they didn't want to have any like, let's keep building and then end up having to rebuild, but we never really had that. Let's refocus, degress for a second and really talk about what we're doing here independently then. So I think that was kind of a good way to like re-kick it. Like, okay, before we start these contracts, before we talk about, what's really happening, let's really talk about what is a DAO, what this comes with, what our vision is, and what we're trying to do here. Because we want to have a fashion house, and that's what we've even decided too. Like, we'll have a raw fashion house, but we also want to have a raw NFT house. Because again, even our marketplace structure, we want to have it more like a flea market where everybody can have their own like store or table or showing whatever they've got for anything. So just kind of broadening it.
I think what would help with all of this is building something that Lauren has been working on a lot, building like your pitch deck. So if you'd ever, would want to approach an investor, which probably you don't, but in case you do, and also to clarify your own image of your project, it seems to make a lot of sense to walk your brain once through a pitch deck. Like, how would you answer those questions, right?
Yes.
What is like the unique selling proposition for the raw DAO, right? Because you're saying a lot of things that a lot of other projects are also saying, and this counts for everyone in this Realms Council, right? But then we need to dig deeper and be like, yeah, we're saying kind of the same thing. We want a marketplace and we want a metaverse and we want all of this, right? But what is like this one specific point that differentiates the raw DAO from all the others who want that? And
exactly,
the pitch deck is actually it is very helpful. I found out we had a session today and we were like, or at least I don't know how Lauren thinks about it, but I was like, I had this aha moment, and I figured like it could be probably also helpful to you.
Yeah, that definitely helped because I need. I actually just went in one of these servers that had like thousands, like 20, 30,000 people in it, and was talking about our workshop, and there was like 150 people in the space in the Discord voice chat, and I'm like, I felt like I was saying so much because there was so much to explain all the time, and I'm like, I've got to get this down to again those points because, like you said, that's why we even rethought like, okay, if we're building our own marketplace, what's going to be different about ours? We don't want to have a marketplace people can come and upload their stuff to and this and the third because everybody has that. We don't want our own coin. We don't want to keep just doing the same things. So what can we do different? And I think, like you said, getting that pitch down that will emphasize that is definitely on the list for this week to get done next.
Actually, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Adam just put
Hey
something
Mo,
in there.
I was in that space that you were in, and I thought you sounded pretty good, but also when she was asking you about like lawyers and stuff, I started like freaking out on my end. I was like, wait, we're supposed to have all these things, and I was just like,
I know.
man, I'm not cut out for this. I can't do this. And then I just, I was like, well, what do you do? But
Guys,
okay, I let those emotions out.
I like. I'm not sure if you do. So on the one hand, it's like everyone gets the legal implications because of like SEC ruling in the US, and what's the potentiality? Is it a token or isn't it a token? If it quacks, is it a duck? I think like whereas the data said in the chat, you've got the co-op thing. So like, let's just say all of us were going to work on a piece of work and we all work on it together. We could all do that and revenue share and present our own taxes in our countries of origin and be above the law and be legally compliant, be fine with taxes and everything else without having to go into like tokenization and distribute tokens. I mean, we could distribute governance tokens in the form of NFT, which I might have one and you guys have 10 each, for example, without going into the deep waters of securities. I think people are like jumping in the deep end, thinking you've got to have it all. You've got to have this internal economy, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Deep Thought, that's a good point, and that's the same thing that I've been actually telling people, and that's why we have our workshop set up that way, because it's just we have our workshop, we're charging $15 a ticket, and it's just a straight revenue share where everybody that's contributed, we have 8 contributors, like 5 speakers, a few promoters. It's like we split it 8 ways, very clean cut, very transparent. We've even set up like an affiliate program where it's like anybody can get a link, and if somebody uses your promo code, you get $2 a ticket. Kind of using those things that, like you said, that not even gray area, but things that are legal that you can do to still help your ecosystem. I feel like that's generating real money that they can use to go see whatever they're doing. Because as, like you said, a DAO, you're still your own independent organization. And that's one of the things I've been emphasizing. Like, look, getting your one ticket goes to go see 9 different organizations that are going to go use these funds for whatever they're building, and without having to come and get our own coin, and without having to come and make our own marketplace, we can just find this area in between we call it a bridge. We're trying to build a lot of bridges between for the people that are coming on board.
Exactly, Mo, because like, for example, we could all be individual creators, either self-employed or working for a company, and we declare our taxes because we earn extra income, or we could all have our own LLCs and we cooperate, our own companies, and we collaborate between ourselves, or we could all be working in the same LLC or company. But with that comes, as you guys know, the tax regimes, the legal ramifications, and it seems to me people are overcomplicating the whole space, because whilst you can throw together a DAO in the purest sense of, we'll set up a multi-sig wallet on Gnosis, there'll be some multi-signatures, everyone chucks in funds to an agreed ETH address, and then people vote on it and decide how they're going to spend it. Even with that, you've got all the tax implications, and I've seen a number of companies where they're spinning up the potential to have a LLC compliant DAO on the blockchain. But if you go and dig into the small print, it really, because I read through one the other day, and I think I stuck it in one of the chats on the server. It basically says, we're not responsible, we're not compliant. If you're using it outside of a legal jurisdiction that you're not allowed to use it in, that's your problem. And basically it's 50 pages of how they're not at all responsible for anything that goes wrong. Do you know what I mean?
I completely agree with what you're saying, and I think that people do tie themselves in knots looking at the legal argument, but you have to look back for legal precedent, and you should never ask a lawyer whether you need a legal document, because they always say yes, because they're lawyers. And those systems you've described are centralized, and they cannot describe what you're building now, because there is no precedent in terms of case law. And we can all just collectively agree as a co-op or cooperative, as an organization, to agree certain terms. We're like our own self-employed entities, and we can be in several different entities, just like a contractor is on a house or in a city building a development. You have lots of different entities doing their own taxes, their own responsibilities, but they have a project to deliver, and that might be 3 years in the making, and there's a contract involved, but it's not a new system. It's a very well-known, tried and tested system. And I think that's what a DAO is, or what it should be, is a collection of individuals, and in our case, which have got a project to build, and just get on with it. And we pay our own taxes, and we help each other out, paying less tax, hopefully, because I've got knowledge in that area. Yeah.
Right. No, exactly. Because we're both in the UK by the sounds of it. I think you're in Scotland. I'm in England, over Hadrian's Wall. But yeah. So we can all do that, and not fall foul of the law or HMRC or the SEC or the taxation system in the US or wherever. I think that people see the attraction of, we'll have a governance token, then we'll have a token which we can then, we won't stick it on an exchange, but hopefully someone will put it there with liquidity, and then you end up in hot water because it's a security.
Yeah, I'll share my resources. I've got contracts, legal governance that I use for manufacturing or construction. They're applicable when you're building digital things as well. I'm very happy to share that with our community.
Oh, cool.
So that could be a starting point if you get asked for legal documents, but don't worry about it. It's like, just build.
But I mean, I work in IT, so I work in like complex environments, and for me, it not being very, very clever, I always like to start, basic, just keep things really simple. So even in a complex sort of series of chain problems, you've got to go back to the base building blocks, and it's the same here really. Like you say, whereas the data, if you can all agree to work together and produce something, a widget, or whatever, and sell it and do a revenue share, then it's like that's pretty good.
May I just jump in because I have to go to the next call in 15 minutes and just drop the stuff which and thank you guys for the voyage into this whole lawyer thing. I hate it. I hope I don't have to do anything with it. But anyway, let me just tell you what happened else. I think my task for the week was to talk with these metaverse guys from Maison DAO. And I did that, and I will share a presentation Simon is his name I talked to, made for us. And that extends to everyone in this group, also the people who are not here right now. And usually you would pay money to get into that metaverse. I don't know how much it is. I think $1,000, $2,000 or something, depending on what exactly you're taking. I'm not sure about it. Anyway, it's a sum of money you would usually have to pay, but I made a deal with him that when we as a group, multiple people come into his metaverse, we don't have to pay anything. So check it out. If you like it, let me know. I will then collect these people who are interested in getting this virtual space, and then we will set up a call together with Simon and see how we're going to pull this off. So that's the news from that side.
That's awesome.
The other thing is that I am officially not on Digital X anymore. So that's something as well.
You decamped?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I actually totally, when it comes to this whole open source thing, I actually agreed with Emma. I'm a big fan of open source, even if it comes to fashion still, but I just didn't like the way this whole thing went down. And anyway, like from a strategic standpoint, it makes more sense for our brand to go somewhere where there's already people who have, like, I don't know, some kind of monochromatic, very design taste. And that's where we're looking to right now. And that's why I have my next call, because I'm talking to like creators from Ash, and we'll probably do some stuff together. But yeah, hit me up if you wanna be a part of this. We will get our own house. That's probably gonna be pretty cool. Like we can be our own house, and we can like still stay like a group, but we don't have to. We can also just like disperse into, I don't know. I would go into the monochromatic corner of the city, maybe, or I don't know. We could still stay stay a house and do business or whatever, do stuff together with each other. We have to talk about it, how that will be possible. But if you're interested, let me know, and I will set up a call with Simon, and then we can ask him.
It sounds pretty cool because you can have a multi-story house, right, with everyone having their own theme or a doorway which leads to specific houses or whatever. But yes, it sounds very interesting. Do you know what the platform is?
Yeah.
What it's based on?
That's so cool.
You mean from a technical standpoint? I think it's wait. What is the Unreal? Is that possible?
Yeah, Unreal Engine. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
He told me Unity, unless he changed from last
Oh,
week.
sorry. Okay, Unreal Unity. That sounds really like the same to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's another. But Unity is also like a game engine, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So I know Catherine and me and a number of us on the call have built some Unity models for Mona. So maybe in the future, if they
Even better.
unlock the build capabilities, then a number of us could collaborate and create stuff for that platform.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
talking to
cool.
Simon how I wanted to have my space in the clouds. So that would be cool if we all share a building and you go to each level and then I'm on the roof and you go up and then you're in the clouds.
Yeah, right. You're getting the penthouse. Forget it.
I mean, I already know where Altaraz should be. Cellar.
In hell.
Yeah, exactly. we go down, we go deep.
Oh, Gabriel's dark. It's all monochromatic black, so that's not in the clouds, huh?
Well, it's gonna be a secret entrance, that's for sure.
This is great.
Adam just
It sounds
has a
conceptually
lot of-
really cool, though.
Yeah, it does. I think we should actually have this call, Gabriel. Would you mind inviting
Okay.
Simon maybe actually to next week's Realms Council? Would that be a thing? Could
Okay.
that be a thing?
Yes, that's same day, same time.
Yeah, same day, same time. I think I already put the event up, so you can check it. But
Okay.
I
Perfect.
think because it seems like everyone is interested, so why not?
Okay, cool.
Super cool.
We'll do it then. Thank you very much, and have a nice evening.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Speaking of that day at this time is the opening night, you guys, for an exhibit that we're doing with Altaraz. And if anybody's in London town, come on down. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Oh, that's not the right way. I'll put it in a bit. But yeah, and Klaus is here. Klaus did a wonderful job making graphics for the exhibit. So the exhibit is running at the ArtSite Gallery from March 23rd till April 13th. And it's pretty much like a compilation of a lot of stuff we've been working on around our cause called Future eShock. So it's like the first season. I can't take myself seriously wearing this filter. Combining the cause of e-waste with different designs that we've collaborated with first with the film, as well as some other different body filters that we'll be releasing I think April 1st for our first big edition of filter focused fashion pieces. And if anyone has advice on how to promote quickly, since it's next Wednesday, or wants to join or would mind sharing about it, or is in London, because Deep Thought, are you close to London or are you out?
I'm away. I think that week.
Yeah.
I'm with a customer. I think traveling. When is that next week?
Yeah, so it's from the 23rd. It's our opening party night, and so I'll be there from the 23rd until April 2nd. It's the dates that I'm in London. And here,
Oh, wow.
I'll put the link in here. It was a long time planning this, and then now we got a date like really fast, and then now trying to promote it really fast. But yeah, so if anyone has advice on promoting,
you do that on socials and that type of thing. So, because I guess
yeah,
everyone
like we
Right.
like a LinkedIn post, and then Klaus has like helped us make some social media posts. Artsect is also like promoting from their side. They're also going to have like, which we weren't involved with organizing, but they'll have Boson Protocol will be having like their metaverse party in the space on the 26th. So yeah, if anybody wants to come to that, I can put you on a list. But yeah, so we'll see who comes from that. I wasn't like personally talking about that with them, but it should be cool.
That's good because they've got a good presence in Decentraland. So you might want to talk to them about maybe getting some Altourage promo in and around their presence in DCL as well.
Yeah, and I can ask for us as well if they're looking for more people, more designers. Yeah, because I don't know so much about who's actually in the Metaverse Fashion Week. Ever since, right, a couple of weeks ago, it was like declined by Digital X because of some guy. But yeah, I don't know the actual brands that are in that. But it seemed pretty, right, like Web2, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, a bit odd. I think from what I understood, Digital X declined it because it wasn't CCO enough. But like nothing is ever CCO enough if it's full CCO, and because obviously they are big brands, and you know there's big investment, etc. But also there's small designers there as well that week.
Oh yeah,
So
okay.
it's a spread of people.
It's not just right big brands. Yeah. What was my task, Stella?
Wait, pulling it up now. Your task: finish onboarding presentation and work out a test with Coordinate. So the test actually is running right now. I can already take that away, and I've almost set up all the members, all the core members of AutoCore. So that's going great. How's your onboarding presentation doing?
Going great. It's going to be resumed for like 2 weeks. When I'm back. Yeah, now it's like getting all the marketing stuff ready for the exhibit and the edition. So if I just switch the priorities a bit. And then Klaus is here. Is this the first time Klaus has joined? Sorry, Klaus. Maybe I shouldn't use your real name because you're Control Z. And maybe you want to be mysterious. Klaus Control Z is a part of AutoCore, and he is doing our website branding. So if you're wondering who makes all these wonderful graphics, it's him.
Hello.
Hello.
Being super quiet again, as per usual.
Again. No, not again.
No, you're doing fine. You're fine. Just kidding.
Is it better?
Yes.
Better
great.
now?
Yes, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
Fine. You.
You guys, okay.
Why are you laughing now?
Oh, no specific reason. Actually, you guys can check out some of the graphics that Klaus did, or Control Z did. Sorry, now it's already spilled, doesn't matter. In DAO discussion, you can see, the graphic from the article that Lauren wrote. You can see the banners and posters and some of the social media content, and all of it is just absolutely fantastic and fits Altourage like a glove.
Yeah, I was almost doing Control C and Control V on that, Klaus. They're really nice.
Thank you. It's nice to you.
Looks so nice.
Maybe Klaus, we should mint those as NFTs as well because they look so damn good.
Yeah.
What should we call it?
we should make it on-chain generative. That would be nice because it's all a vector and it's anyway you could mint it like an on-chain SVG NFT. That would be nice, sort of a cool idea.
Okay, we gotta talk about this. I'm serious.
Oh, that sounds good.
This is my serious face. We gotta talk about this.
No one can have a serious face when I have this filter on. I think I got used to it by now.
It's impossible. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
the issue is with on-chain SVGs, NFTs, you have to be like 16 kilobyte big, otherwise it won't render on OpenSea
Oh.
perfectly. Because I've already tried around with the stuff. So.
Of course you did. Didn't expect anything less.
Yeah,
Okay,
everything a GitHub repo exists.
so Lauren actually fucked up her goal. Let's just be honest. No, I'm just messing with you. Look, the coordinate thing is working, right? You set this up, I completed it, it's working. So I keep for you, I keep in here finish onboarding presentation, okay? Because this is still going. You want to add something?
Yeah, I won't be here next week. I could call you guys. That'd be fun. Can I call you? But then you're gonna meet with this metaverse person.
Yeah, that's
It's our
true.
event night. We do it a different day.
But I can ping you after Simon is like done with, pitching his cool stuff and explaining it to us, and then I ping you and then you can call in from the event. I think it would be nice to see that, right, guys?
On stream. My phone. I don't know how else to do it. But
Okay, we
maybe I
can
can find
try.
it nicer.
We can try. Okay, so I leave it in here for you, not for next week, but when you can join again, finish the onboarding presentation. You still want to add something on top of it, or are you good?
Finish marketing stuff for edition.
Finish marketing for edition 1.
Lauren learns how to market. Baby steps.
Okay, sounds good. Cool. Thank you,
Understood.
Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Catherine, you want to join? You said smart contracts and primary platform. Have you figured that out yet?
So I was looking at Ledger. I don't know, because dumb question. I probably have to make a separate wallet for DigiVote. So I should do that. Yes.
Oh,
If I'm going to
actually,
make a smart contract.
if you're using a cold wallet, I would say not necessarily, because you will anyway import the cold wallet to your MetaMask, or connect it to the MetaMask. I don't know what's the right wording. Deep thought? What's the right wording? Connect or import?
No, that's the right wording. You could also use the Gnosis multi-sig wallet if you want to be like ultra safe. I'll stick the link in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you. But yeah, I need to get on that and figure out the platform. But me and my friend were really like working on the Gitbook and like making it perfect, because I'm gonna try to get this one, a secret magician who like doesn't speak to anyone, to try to be on this first project. The end goal is to have a drop where you have your garments that have a corresponding digital space. So it'll be like this big thing, and I've been working at the tiers for that, but obviously not going to start with that. Can start with like a smaller, like this is digital magic project. But I met this dude, this is really interesting, you guys, who told me that he puts like spells into like coding. And he knows like all these people too who are really interested in like magic and like technology. So I'm really trying to like perfect the Skipbook so I could send it to him, so then he could send it to his friends. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Nothing else.
So
Sounds magic.
yeah. So So I will leave the smart contracts and primary platform in, but I will add
Yes.
refining Gitbook. Okay.
Of course. Thank you.
Send
Thank you.
it out. Okay. Cool.
So yeah,
So-
for Gnosis, for example, you can set up a multi-sig wallet. The idea is that if you you just have to have one more signature than. So, for example, if you have 3 signatures set up, you can set the threshold to be 2. You need at least 2, or if you have 3 signing signatures, you set up 4. So you always have the ability to retrieve your funds, basically. But it just means that you need 1 or more signers to execute the smart contract. But if you have a read, it's quite straightforward. It's like the de facto standard, industry standard that people use.
Actually, just pull it up on my screen for a second. You guys can see it here. Just for my understanding, so you would still have a cold wallet, right? And you would connect the cold wallet to this platform, and then it would require you to have at least 2 cold wallets connected to it, or would it replace the cold wallet? And then if so, how can that be more secure than a cold wallet?
Yeah, so basically if you read through, it's straightforward. You set up your profile. You would connect, say, 3 wallets to it. One would be, say, a cold wallet, and one would be maybe 2 MetaMask addresses. So if I then want to implement the smart contract or do anything on the smart contract, I would need to sign it 3 times. One with the cold wallet and twice with the other MetaMask addresses. It just means that if, for example, your PC got hacked or a MetaMask wallet got compromised, then the attacker would need to be able to sign with the other 2 addresses as well.
I understand. Okay, so it intercepts, let's say, the signature process, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it says okay, got it. Okay.
So if you go to the safe one and read that, let me just stick in the chat. It's really easy.
This one, no?
This one here, yeah. And it's had a proper secure audit. It's used by all of the big like Consensus and SushiSwap and Aave and you can basically have a desktop, a web interface, or you can have it on your mobile as well.
Do you know is this just open to everyone, or does it come at a price? I haven't seen yet.
It costs a price to set up, but it's not like massively exorbitant.
Okay.
So you can set up for individuals, like just all of us on the call could have a Gnosis wallet, or you could set up for teams. So you can have a multi-signature set up. So you need, more than 1, 2, or 3 team members to assign every time a transaction. To sign so that the transaction's executed.
Okay.
But if you have a read through, it seems complicated, but it isn't, and it supports ECR 20 and ECR 721 as well.
Oh yeah.
And for cold wallets, it works with Ledger, Trezor, and most of the wallets.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I know you've posted this before, but I a little bit of I'm doing a lot of reading right now. It's just been piling
there's so
up.
much info flying around everywhere. It's difficult, but yeah, if you're looking at multi-sig wallets, then that's probably the one.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. This is very valuable. Okay. So Catherine was Lillian is she's she is actually fulfilling her goal just now by talking to Usumi Cat. Mo has stated her goals. Lauren, Enki isn't here. Yao Haney isn't here. But we have 2 new people who can join us in these missions. Deep Thought, you wanna set up a goal for next week? You feel like
Oh, that's a really. I thought I was going to have to make up the goals that I didn't do for last week.
No, you don't.
Yeah, next week. I think I'm going to carry on looking at the AI pods because I think that probably the way to do that is going to be via OpenAI and the OpenAI API. So I'm going to dig into that a bit more.
Okay, cool. Set down. Adam, you want to join this idea of setting goals?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, why not? My goal is with Nicole Kane, who you all know, because she's in Glasgow, to find and move into an office space and start minting stuff together in Glasgow. I've found a couple of options and we're going to scope them out, get set up, and hopefully within a week we'll have a desk and a computer and we'll be minting things in a space in Glasgow.
That's so cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. In Glasgow. Okay, this is set up. Oh, by the way, on that note, when it comes to events, I'm not sure if you saw this, but if you go to the event section, I put up Adam's event. It's called Tech Adventures Festival. And because it's still far out, it's like on the 6th of June. But have a look at the website, check it out, and contact him if you want to. I guess if you want to participate, right? How does this work, Adam? You wanna share?
Landing page. I'm launching a public announcement next month, but you can ask me any questions. Anyone can be involved, and it'll probably be focused around this and what I'm doing with Nicole in terms of the fashion. So there's that, but then gaming, like lots of gaming activities. And it's an outside arena, so it's in a park and there's a kind of tented kind of village next to it. So it's flexible to do other things and everyone's invited. If you want to come up to Glasgow that month, you're welcome.
That's really cool. Thank you. And also, Mo mentioned it before, but Mo and, actually I'm also part of Mo's event. Thank you that you asked me. You wanna share like more detailed data once more, and also I wanted to put it up here in events. Maybe you can send me like a cool text I should put, and maybe
Yeah.
everyone else who has like a Discord could put it up in their events as well, like if you guys feel like it.
Yeah, that would be awesome and a lot of help. Because one thing about being new in the space is just getting this information out there,
Yeah.
So the more people share, the more it's appreciated. So I definitely will put it here in the chat. But basically, it's an intro to Web3 workshop. Something that we want to keep doing every season is having a workshop from people that's in the space and literally building it and actually hearing from them and like hearing all the different things they have to share with what they're learning. So on Friday, it's a 3-day event. Stella will be having a intro to Web3 and talking about like what that even is and some pointers when like actually getting involved with Web3 projects. So she's even going to get like a cool checklist. Like, so the key is also to like gather resources so that we're like arming people and empowering people with this knowledge and quick reference resources that they can kind of look at or refer to as they're navigating this space. So
Yeah.
Stella will have that Friday. Earlier and then later after Stella, a few hours, I'll have a Clubhouse meeting, and I'll post all the times on the flyers because I don't remember them, but I'll be meeting on Clubhouse, and what I want to do is pose these different questions, so it's more like an open discussion, and it's how are you revolutionizing your business or life? Like, we're living through this revolution. We see what's happening. I'll do my own little spill. You guys know I have my intro to crypto thing that I do when it's like, it's the fourth industrial revolution. And like, kind of like telling people like, hey, pay attention to what's happening. You know, open your eyes. Let's get to it and actually start doing what you can with your gifts and revolutionizing that, so that your 5-year plan and 10-year plan is something that actually makes sense and not any of these, you know, distracted dreams that you can end up wasting a lot of time on. So kind of having a workshop to hear like how people are actually revolutionizing their business and having this, you know, free area for people to actually share that, I think is going to be a lot of fun. Then Saturday, we're going to have an intro to creating an avatar, which will be on Dash 3D, which is free, which is really cool. Asa, the Meta Elf, will be leading that. She makes a bunch of Digimodels. If you see like majestic Digimodels on Instagram, she knows how to get them together, add some details. So she'll be doing that. And then she also will be doing a lot more free workshops, because, you know, we're not just all about the money. We do our free workshops every week on Twitter. Everything else is free. It's just at the end of each season, we want to actually spotlight these creators that are doing all this stuff. You know, Stella's done so many free workshops to help me get to where I am. It's really cool to have them, you know, actually in the spotlight and be able to give them something also as well. So really cool that she wants to kind of use this to kick off her line of workshops where you could create your Digimodel, and then we'll create clothes and accessories and kind of go from there. That she'll keep building out with other free workshops that will kind of follow just in Discord and stuff like that. And then Saturday night, we're going to kind of keep it going with it like being a workshop, and then on a different platform to, again, try to start growing our audience. So we'll be on Twitter Spaces, and we call it a Web3 show and tell, where people can come and like shill whatever they're doing. Like, what are you doing in Web3? Again, come show and tell us about it. So like we have one guy, Jose, he can play the guitar so amazing. You guys definitely don't want to miss it. And he will be there playing his guitar, talking about how he's in Web3 music. I would love if like Tom Blade was talking about Web3 and NK was talking about Web3 music. And, you know, at that point, everybody that's sharing music can be in there. All of us are doing different things in fashion with our realms. And just so many people, you know, on Twitter doing so many different things. So just creating that time to come, chill, create like a fun atmosphere. So I always try to make things different and interactive in that way. And then Sunday, our last day, we have an intro to Web3 engineering, when one of our engineers, Sergio, will be actually going over different programs that you should start to learn if you want to get into Web3 engineering. And I think one of the things that is just like so like near and dear to my heart is that we are all coming up in this space. You know, it's not like Sergio is this world star engineer, but it's like he's learning and doing a lot to learn as well, and was so excited to be able to host a workshop to like create this as well. And one of the things that he's really aligned with Raw, and why he's just like, you know, I'm okay with leading and building for Raw, is because he's really about, again, collecting those resources and being able to put it in a way that's going to be easier to onboard all the people that are coming into the space to go from physical to digital and try to navigate this space. So I'm sure his lesson is going to be really cool and informative in that way. And then for the finale, that Sunday night, we'll be having an in-world experience, and we'll actually be exploring Musashi's spaceship, which is really cool because he actually built it for DAOs. So like how all of us meet here, instead we could actually meet on Musashi's spaceship, because we can all have like our own little like spaceship on the spaceship. You guys know what I'm talking about, like how spaceships have that, right? You know, it's like a bunch of little spaceships. I don't know if I'm saying the right word when it comes to how the spaceships are at that point, but you know what I'm saying. So
it's like the mothership, and then there's like gliders.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Right. So
No,
he has the
that's
mothership.
cool.
And it's like, and the mothership is actually where we can meet, but we can all have our own little spaceships from there. So he'll be having that and talking about how you can actually build in world with no code as well.
Yeah, this is really cool,
So-
Mo. really cool. Yeah, please like put something in the council chat, so I will put it up in events. That's, I guess, a good plan. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but Midwest is back, and he put like something really awesome in the chat. So have a look. How did you even make this, dude? Like, seriously. But I think he still cannot open up his phone. Anyhow, he said the body for the stylist character isn't textured, but it's complete. The head is complete, and I've started on the female head. I also have 2 garments of the 5 complete that will be the open source garments from Misfit starting out. So he has accomplished definitely a lot. If you want me to add anything for next week as your goals, let me know so I can put it in the list. And also, let me just quickly go through this. Maria's gone again. I think Maria can really, like, she has trouble to connect to Discord. I think something with her settings is off. Control Z, you want to add a goal for next week? Do you have goals? Do you have goals in life?
No goals, everything lost. Depressed Austrian. No, actually, I don't know. I really want to dig into the whole, as it is important for all of us, like the Manifold website, marketplace, etc. But I would be really interested in basically what do you want to achieve with Alana in terms of website branding, etc. Really look into
I'm gonna
this.
tell you everything about this tomorrow. Like,
I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you.
Wait, what? You guys cannot
I
hear me?
couldn't hear you.
No? None of you?
No, now I can hear you. Yes.
Wait, we can hear you.
Wait, what? Can you guys hear me now?
You're like,
Oh, I was like
Yeah.
frozen. Okay.
no,
sorry.
you were like away.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Sing a song.
I'm sorry. No, I have a, like, you will not like any of it. It's gonna be a huge surprise tomorrow, right? You put in like I think you put in the Calendly
Yes.
for tomorrow. Yeah. Just, you know.
Yeah, you have some weird ideas. I know
Yeah,
it. I can
I
see it
know.
in your kinky eyes already.
Yeah, you can.
That there are
can't
some
you?
weird ideas.
Yeah, no, I have some really weird ideas. You probably will not like them.
I will probably totally love them because I also have some really
Yeah.
weird ideas for it.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's gonna be a
So-
perfect match, I guess. or
Sounds
something
good.
like this.
Kinky unites with kinky.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my god, we are so weird. This is like German Austrian humor, guys. We have to apologize to you.
Yeah.
Cool.
When you need them.
I think, unless anyone wants to add something else, I think we're good for this week's council meeting. If Gabriel follows through with his promise, next week we're gonna have like a first part, probably then with Simon from Maison Dao, or Mason Dao. I don't know how, Catherine. You know how it's pronounced, right? You do know.
What? Yeah,
Um,
you could say whatever. But yeah, Maison. I don't know. Lauren is the one that lives in
it's
Paris.
French. Maison.
Mm-hmm.
Maison d'Ao.
Maison?
Yeah,
Again.
normally
Oh,
yes, but it doesn't
Maison
seem
de
to have
Maison.
like this. It doesn't seem to be written in the French language. You know, is what I'm saying. Okay, the French
Oh,
language.
God.
I'm just messing around. Okay, yeah. Anyhow,
I had a
probably. What?
Mo, I don't know if you sound like you already have your schedule set, but if you were looking for anyone else to like speak or help, you can let me know for your workshop.
Yeah, Cloud. Actually, I've kind of already envisioned the whole next one, which is kind of going to be like the different like OR, AR, VR, like the different like layers, and like going through those and having like people actually come on and do like a filter workshop and kind of like that whole thing. And I definitely want you there, maybe Jebel's back, somebody with the filters, something of that caliber. Though I know I've talked to like Taki, or Taki. I'm not saying if I'm saying her name right, but she's like somebody that I met through Digilex before, who kind of does like the breakdown and like information of like what each one actually is. So definitely will be in contact with you because we got to get that set up.
Sounds good. You guys like this filter? I changed it in halfway for you.
I love this filter. It's one of my favorites.
That's all I had to say.
Okay, guys, I think we're good for this week. So, if you have to add anything to your goals, let me know so I can correct it in the list. I'm gonna put up the season 1 event from the Raw Realm, and yeah, spread some love and news for Entourage, for the exhibition, and for obviously the Raw DAO event. So we can make some noise, right?
Woo!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Scream, you guys! I'll
Okay.
scream you from the source.
Look at you, what the hell? Okay. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye. Have a
You
good
too.
week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.